Hi there, Angela Raspass, your guide to a wholehearted business and life. And this week I'm actually going to talk to you about wholehearted conversations. Now, why this has come about is all due to a meeting I had in this room here just a couple of weeks ago. A couple of very good friends and colleagues who happen to also own their own businesses. We got together to have a bit of a brainstorm, masterminding sort of scenario because we have different sorts of talents, systems, PR, marketing and mindset, and we thought if we worked together we could help each other with our businesses. But a really interesting thing happened behind closed doors. What happened is that we created this really safe space. This room became a place where we could talk about anything. And in the context of our businesses, a lot of honesty came out. See, I think what happens with a lot of us is when we're asked, so, how's business? The typical automatic response is, oh, it's great, it's really busy, you know how it is, and yeah, it's great, and then we move on to the next person. But when we actually sit in these sort of situations and pause and become a bit vulnerable and find the courage to be honest about what's really going on under the surface, that's when the best conversations and the biggest shifts can actually take place. Because let's face it, yes, we are business owners, but don't just compartmentalize yourself into there, because your business and your life shift all over the top of one another. What's going on in your life is definitely going to affect what's going on in your business, and quite often vice versa as well. So when we actually start to open up and allow those other aspects to enter into our business conversations, a whole new picture starts to emerge. And as I said, some real shifts can take place. So in today's video, I want to give you 4 ideas of how you can actually set up and facilitate wholehearted conversations, and 4 questions that you can ask that are really important to get to the core of issues. So here we go. So the first step absolutely is to create that safe space. To have that agreement that in this situation, whether it be a one-on-one conversation or a larger group, that what is spoken about here stays here. To give people the freedom to actually open up and have that honest dialogue going on. The second point is that it's really important for you to listen with attention. Now, we've all heard of active listening, because what can often happen in these situations is that someone is talking to you, you're listening, but your little brain's going da-da-da-da-da-da-da in the background about how you're going to answer this question or put your point of view across. What's really important in a wholehearted conversation is to suspend that. Suspend the reaction, the response, the judgment, and really give this person that you're listening to your absolute attention. Step 3 is when you do have your opportunity to respond, you must respond with intention. So keep that intention to really share honestly and openly at the forefront of your mind. Try not to hold back. Obviously have a little bit of decorum, but be really honest. So that intention has to be very clear for it to be a genuine, wholehearted conversation. And the 4th point really is to have an open mind, to stay curious. I mentioned before about our habit often to come forward with answers straight away. We'll try and let go of what you already know about a situation. Having that spirit of curiosity and suspending assumptions really can open whole new aspects of the dialogue. So that's how you set up a wholehearted conversation. Now, there's also 4 questions that I think are vital to ask if you really want to get below the surface noise that goes on. And those 4 questions are, what are you really excited about right now? What are you really scared about? What's worrying you at the moment? What are you hoping is going to happen? And what support do you need? Those 4 questions are biggies. And if you really open your heart when you're both asking them and also giving feedback about them, really actually start to create a whole different dialogue of a different sort of depth. And that's what a wholehearted conversation is all about. It's about bringing the whole of you into the conversation, not saying, oh, I better not talk about that, and oh, I better leave that part under the rug. Bringing it all out, and that's why that safe space is so important. Look, I was so inspired by this experience that I had that I'm taking it a step further. We're actually starting wholehearted conversations outside of this room. We're going to set up these meetups, beginning in Sydney, because that's where I happen to be, where we bring women together to have these conversations about all parts of business and life. It's not networking in the classic sense. It's not about pitching, though of course you may meet some people that you want to collaborate with or do business with. But that's not the essence of it. It's to have people together in a room talking about the things that really matter. Now, details about how you can register and get involved in wholehearted conversations are below this video. And I'd also also love to hear from you if you want to set up a wholehearted conversation in another state. I've had some interest from Tasmania and Melbourne, and I'd love to see if there's anybody else that is interested in having the framework which I'll provide you to begin these wholehearted conversations with other entrepreneurs and colleagues in your own state. So that's the topic for today. Love to hear back from you underneath the post. Do you feel a wholehearted conversation can make a difference in your life and your business, and how much you get one started? I'm Angela Raspass, your guide to a wholehearted life and business.